Hello Pirates, happy Thursday. Today you guys are just studying and preparing for your quiz on the cell organelles, and you'll take that quiz tomorrow on Friday. When you guys are looking at cells, what you're going to do today, thing number one, is you want to compare and contrast bacteria cells, plant cells, and animal cells. So what you want to do on page 22 is you guys want to set up a tri-Venn diagram, so 3 circles. And you want to look at your list of organelles. And when you're looking at that list of organelles, you guys want to sort which organelles go into which structures, okay? And the overall big idea here, that essential question that you want to be able to answer in this tri-Venn diagram, so the essential question, the EQ, is you want to be able to explain the differences. So you should be able to explain the difference. So explain the differences between plant, animal, and bacteria cells. So this Venn diagram is going to aim to do that. So what you want to do is you want to pause the video, and then after you pause the video, go ahead and look at those organelles and figure out what you can sort into each category. So pause and sort, and then replay once you're ready to check your answers. So 1, 2, 3, pause. Okay, so going over what you would find in each type of cell and what would be unique to the different types of cells is the bacteria would be, the only one that is a prokaryote. So the bacteria cell is prokaryotic. So this is a prokaryote. And the animal cell and the plant cell, these guys are both eukaryotic. So something that they have in common is they are both eukaryotes. Okay, so these are eukaryotes. And eukaryotes, if you guys remember, they are going to have membrane-bound organelles. So everything that is in this section here are going to be organelles that have membranes because they're eukaryotes. So these cells are going to have a Golgi apparatus. They are going to have mitochondria. They are going to have endoplasmic reticulum, both the smooth and the rough. They are both going to have a nucleus and a nucleolus. Okay? And they are both eukaryotes, so things they have in common. Structures that are going to be unique to the plant cell is the plant cell is going to be the only one that has the central vacuole that stores water. And also unique to the plant cell is chloroplasts. They're going to be the only ones here who are going through photosynthesis. Right, and we haven't talked about it yet this year, but these guys, they're going to be autotrophs. And an autotroph means that they can make their own food. All right, bacteria cells and plant cells are also going to have something in common, and one thing they're going to have in common is they both can have a cell wall. The cell walls are made of different structures, but they do have an exterior structure that provides support for the cell. Animal cells and bacteria cells, something that they have in common is they both could have cilia. So they both could have cilia. They both could have flagella. And these kind of cells aren't going to make their own energy. They are going to be heterotrophs. That means they are going to have to get their food from something else. So bacteria are going to get their food from outside their environment, and so are animal cells. Unique to animal cells are going to be unique in the fact that they are going to have, just trying to find a good pen here. Animal cells are going to have centrioles. It's going to be unique to animal cells. And they're also going to have lysosomes. And then for the bacteria cell, we said they're prokaryotes. We're now going to look at things they all have in common. So what are things that all cells have? Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're a bacteria cell, an animal cell, or a plant cell. All cells have DNA. They all have genetic information. They all have ribosomes. So they all have ribosomes. They all have cytoplasm. And they all have a cell membrane. So they all have a barrier that separates the inside of the cell from the outside of the cell. All right, the last thing I want to cover here real quick is viruses, because sometimes students ask, they say, well, what about a virus? Is a virus a bacteria? And the answer to that, and it's just nice to know, is that viruses don't belong in here because they are not cells at all. So I'm just going to make a little box on the side. They are non-living. So a virus is not a cell. So viruses are not cells. Viruses are non-living. They do not meet the characteristics of life. So you have to have 8 of the characteristics of life to be considered a living thing. And they are not living things. They actually are things that they're not a cell. They are non-living. And what they do is they infect cells. And they use cells as their host for reproduction. So I'm just going to put this in a little box over here on the side because sometimes this topic comes up when we talk about cells. This should go in your notebooks on page 22. Just a quick comparison to understand the difference between plant and animal cells. So plant and animal cells, eukaryotes, they have membrane enclosed organelles. There are organelles that are unique to plants, like the central vacuole and the chloroplast. There are some organelles that are unique to animal cells. And the bacteria, super simple, pretty much whatever a bacteria has, other things have as well, because they are the simple, kind of early type of cells. All right, let me know if you have any questions. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.